The following video has been rated by the creator as YTE for YouTube viewers of all ages. For best audio quality, the use of headphones may be recommended. The Moonshadow Mystery channel and its affiliates make no claim to ownership or association with the topics or media discussed in this program, unless explicitly stated otherwise. This video was made for the purpose of being a form of entertainment and not for the sake of profiting from the creations, licenses, or properties belonging to other content creators or organizations. The content of this video is used and executed under the guidelines of the Fair Use Act. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and associated canonical characters, locations, and media are the licensed, copyrighted, and intellectual properties of Hasbro Studios, DHX Media Vancouver, IDW, Lauren Faust, and Discovery Family, Discovery Kids, The Hub, and Tiny Pop. Please support the official releases. Thank you. Hey everybody, Moonshadow Mystery, the Changeling here, and I hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. Now I'm sure part of you may be wondering, what the hey is going on with this new format? Well, I'm more than happy to tell you, starting today, I'm going to be trying more frequently to utilize this style of animating my videos, as opposed to the live action coverage, which may be in part why I suddenly seem like I'm speaking more clearly, at least at parts. Now, if you're curious as to what the deal is with the appearance, or more specifically, why I look like I'm in a video game rather than a normal two-dimensional vector edited in Flash, like the likes of Silverquill, Mad Munchkin, Dr. Wolf, Thespio, Lightning Bliss, and other well-known YouTubers would normally be doing. It's because I don't have that program. And this is what I have to work with. More specifically, SecondLife. I've mentioned SecondLife in some past videos before, as I'm sure many are aware. And the reason that this is done in SecondLife is because this is actually where I really got my hooves wet in the Brony and Pegasister community. As a matter of fact, as you can see behind me, I am actually in Sweet Apple Acres. This location is actually part of SecondLife's very own Ponytown role-playing community. Ponytown Roleplay is actually a general rated, or if you want to think of it more clearly, a PG rated role-playing area dedicated to the My Little Pony role-playing experience. It's actually comprised of a lot of role-players, both in canon characters such as Princess Twilight, Cadence, Luna, and Celestia, as well as original characters like my own. The canon sometimes is fluid, having its own storyline as well as somewhat following the story in the television series. Now, we've seen a few things somewhat hinting at comic book canon, at least I have, and that's awesome, because that means that this is a standalone experience, integrating a little bit of everything. Now, while I'm here, let's take a moment to give you a chance to see what my OC really looks like. As you can see from the side, as well as from the front, I'm not what you would call a standard changeling. My face is more round, I have rainbow-colored eyes, a brown mane, I wear clothes, including glasses, and I actually have extra holes on my flanks. That is a very painful personal story, and I'm more than happy to answer the questions about it at a later time. I can tell my overall body type is somewhat similar, more similar at least, to a pony than a standard changeling might be. Mind that is partially due to the limitations of SecondLife animation at the moment. But I'm not complaining excessively. Later on in the video, I'll give you more of a look at my OC's transformations. But for the moment, I want to take a second just to kind of brag, because I have a limited but effective flight cycle. Mine, I realize it does not look very great at the moment, but hey, at least I'm making progress. Now, I'm sure many of you would very much like to take a look around Sweet Apple Acres, so let's get started with that. Now, as we go down the roadway towards Sweet Apple Acres, I'm sure some of you may be thinking, this looks strangely like Legends of Equestria. Well, it may look similar, and they do have similar themes, but trust me, they're dramatically different. Legends of Equestria plays like an actual video game, while this requires a lot of imagination, creativity, and an understanding of how to manipulate the environment around you. Mine, I do have the ability, at least in some forms, of being able to levitate things, shoot magical bolts, etc., but it's extremely limited. As we get closer to the barn being not only where the hay is stored, with the apple cellar, but as many know, or many who are fans of the series should know, it's also where the Apple family lives. Now, thankfully for me, there is no pony else here at Sweet Apple Acres today. I say luckily for me, because I am walking around outside of my disguise forms, and despite the fact that Thorax and many of the other changelings have been accepted as being friendly now, I know that Queen Chrysalis is still out there, and I am not 100% convinced that I would be welcome with open hooves. Perhaps I'm just being paranoid, but given what I've been through since arriving at Ponyville, or rather arriving on the outskirts of Ponyville, that faithful Summer Sun celebration, I have had reasons to be cautious. Now, as we look around, you can see the chicken coop, the stables, where various other animals on the farm are kept. And as we approach over here by the rabbit pen, which up until recently I wasn't fully aware there was a rabbit pen, and honestly it's got me a little paranoid that maybe Angel Bunny is going to be showing up, because that bunny scares me and infuriates me all at once. As we look out into the orchard, we can see the CMC clubhouse. I would go in for a closer look, but at the same time, despite knowing that no pony else is around at present, I am hesitant. Because, one, they're fillies, and while these three have shown that they are more open to getting to know someone before making judgments, especially Apple Bloom, I am still hesitant. Partially because of how close they are to their sisters, and because if Scootaloo is anything like Rainbow Dash, I don't want to go around with the knowledge that I got my flank handed to me by a filly. I don't think anyone out there could blame me. Now let's teleport out in front of the barn real quick. Well, not really the barn, but in front of the farm itself. Aha! Now, as you can see behind me, the fall season is in full swing with a hoofball goal. I'm fairly certain that Big Macintosh and Spike put this out here, but hey, they're fans of the game. Who can blame them? Now let's teleport again over here in front of the mailbox, or rather the mail barn. Huh. Well, not the first time I've seen a country setting do this. Matter of fact, I probably would as well, since I live in the country, and honestly, I love these little novelty things. Now, I'm about to show you some of my disguise transformations. Well, rather, my 2 disguise transformations, so please bear with me as I light up my magical aura, like so. And now, focus! Focus! Haha! There we are. Now, as you can see, this is my stallion form. And at present, I'm a unicorn. Even though I do have the ability to go between Pegasi, Unicorn, Earth Pony, Bat Pegasi, and even Alicorn. I can also turn into many other things, which I already figured I could do, but thankfully Thorax just helped. Well, he helped to settle that argument I had. Now, as you can tell, I have little tufts on my ears, similar to what a Bat Pegasi would. Now, since some ponies actually have, furry tufts around their hooves and whatnot, I figured, why can't my transformation have furry tufts on his ears? After all, without regular grooming, a lot of fur can grow out in different areas. And personally, I like the way it makes me look. It gives me a more unique profile. And while I'm still wearing the same dirty shirt I was wearing in my changeling form, I find that to be advantageous, as at a distance you can't really tell I'm a changeling, and if I see you before you get too close to me, I can change and no one will be the wiser. Now as you look at me from the side, you can probably tell that I have the same mane. Well, you can probably tell that anyway, but I have the same mane that I do when I'm in changeling form. Now admittedly, in changeling form, I'm mustering the magic to keep the mane, partially because I'm not entirely proud to be a changeling, not that I mind being one, but again, you'd have to know my backstory to know why. But I have a similar short styled tail, which I know many have seen some background ponies use. I consider myself to be a background changeling in that, and I occasionally take personal responsibility for the many, animation errors, duplicities, etc. that take place around Ponyville especially, and except for when there's multiples. But I do take responsibility for part of it. Now as you can see, I have a faux cutie mark where my flank would be. Now I know I'm not the only changeling brony out there who has a faux cutie mark, but mine is somewhat interesting, and many gamers may recognize it as being a Tycoon mystery box. Now the reason I chose this insignia is because I don't fully feel I have any one outstanding talent. Now, I am a bit of a gamer, which is part of why I settled on the box, but I feel that I myself, as I'm still developing and still trying to understand myself, that this is representative in a very personal and very symbolic way. I have many talents, none are really superior to the other, and I'm still growing, still discovering the mystery of life, if you will. As you can see from behind, I have a fairly well-rounded body, and if I do say so myself, a rather toned tushy. Look at my tush, look at my tush, look at my tush. I'm sorry, Silverquill, but I couldn't help but borrow from you. My apologies. And honestly, I'm quite proud with how this turned out. My mane being asymmetrical gives me a unique look from both sides. Well, not really fully unique, but it helps keep me from looking standard. Aha! And now you can see my horn is gone and I have wings. This is not per se an animation error. This is more me emphasizing the point. As I've mentioned in many things when I've been working on this OC of mine, I have a bit of a flaw. I can't fully control my transformations. And as a result, I sometimes will flicker between pony body types, even when it's my own disguise. Again, my backstory explains a lot more of that, and I may go into more detail on it on this channel later. But essentially, the same thing that gave me the rainbow eyes and requires me to wear glasses is also responsible somewhat. I'm going to say somewhat because I'm still not entirely dedicated to it, but has somewhat hindered my ability to control my magic. Essentially, I'm like the changeling that would be a pony. I am what I am. I still require the need to feed on friendship and love, but at the same time, I don't desire to. And that same thing hindering me there also keeps me from fully utilizing my changeling abilities. And to be perfectly honest, if Scootaloo could manage to get off the ground, she would probably have a better wing speed than me. Partially because, as you noticed in my changeling body, I have a bad habit of chewing on my wings, which is why they look so tattered. Aha! But let's keep going. Now, here I am in alicorn status. But I think we've all know that this needs no explanation. I am not a true alicorn. I could never be a true alicorn. I don't think. Although the way Thorax's new transformation looks, anything could be possible. But let's move on to the next form.
And as you can see, now I'm in my mirror form. In my mirror form, I typically remain as a Pegasus. And although I prefer to be a Pegasus in mirror, or a unicorn in my stallion, I do have the same issue. But starting off, let me show my Pegasus form. As you can see, my wings are actually capable of extending and folding. And my mane is much more elegant, with this more well kept, with a single bang dangling down over my left eye. And yes, I'm sure you've noticed my glasses frames changed. That was done with magic, as I still need my glasses to see, but I wanted a more elegant and cute look, as opposed to the bulky square frames. And I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but I do seem to have pointed teeth in my stallion and mirror forms. This is partially, in fact, to my defect in the ability to control my transformations. This way, even when I'm in pony form, I can't fully hide the fact that I'm a changeling. I mean, we have seen some ponies, such as King Sombra, who's, well, technically not really a pony, and Nightmare Moon, who do have sharp fangs. Anyways, as we look at me from the side, you can tell that I have a similar cutie mark as I do in my stallion form. I didn't wish to change it up too heavily, but at the same time, I wanted it just different enough so that it wouldn't be fully recognizable. And as you can see, I have a much longer, more well-kept tail. And I tend to preference dressing in a more traditional, elegant style. Some may even confuse me for a canterlot pony as a result. But the truth is, despite the fact that I'm not really a mare, I do admire and appreciate fashion. And now we'll see, or rather now we'll display, how I look with a unicorn horn. As you can see, my mane style complements this, and the bang dangles down over one side of the horn. But, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to show you how I look as a bat pony. As you can see, as a bat pony in my mirror form, I adopt the fluffy tufts, much similar to how we see with Flutterbat in the episode from Season 4, Bats. And as we see from the side, I do have bat-like wings and a bat-like long tail. Now I'll admit that this transformation does not exactly fit my body type properly, in that it doesn't have the same feel as the rest of me, but I'm not complaining too much.
Back to normal. I apologize to anyone out there who may think I'm trying to make fun of the transgender community or anything. Truthfully, I'm not. In fact, I've struggled with certain identification factors myself. Not in the same level as a transgender individual would, but at the same time, I do acknowledge that I have a more feminine-oriented persona than many other males do. And thus, when I change into a mare form, when I actually feel the need to, I try my best to adopt a feminine accent. And I adjust my pronoun usage accordingly. Now, since today is October 27th, and we're so close to Nightmare Night, or rather Halloween, on Monday the 31st, and I'm not going to change my voice on this one because it's too hard to maintain that feminine voice. I'm going to show you what I would look like in this area as the Queen of the Night herself, or rather the Princess of the Night herself. Not Luna, no, but the pony in which the night is named, Nightmare Moon. Okay, I'll admit, it looks kind of weird, or rather seems kind of weird, hearing my male voice out of a female body.
Therefore, we shall adopt the royal we in the more feminine voice. And as you can see, I am fully capable of taking on a more alicorn stature, far taller than my normal form. In my mane billows like living mist with stardust. But all is not gloom and doom, for Nightmare Night is a night of fun and merriment, taking in the joy and splendor of the macabre. And I sincerely hope you all will enjoy this wonderful Nightmare Night. But I do urge, check your children's candy. Fillies and colts deserve to have nothing but the finest sweets, free of any ill-gotten gain made by those who would wish them harm. So please, parents out there, check your foes and children's goodies before allowing them to eat it. And now, allow me to show you another form. 3, 2, 1.
Yes, my dear ponies. 'Tis I, Discord. Discord, I am the moon, sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon. Discord, or whatever can we do to make you take journey away? Apologies for that abhorrent attempt at covering that song by the Living Tombstone. Or were they the remix? Maybe it was Wooden Toaster. Either way, every pony, as you can see, even here in the digital land of Second Life, in the virtual Ponyville, I can take on many forms, including the Draconicus of Chaos, in all my splendor, or rather all of his splendor. I'm sure John Delancey wouldn't mind loaning me his title every so often. At least I hope not. But that is all in fun and merriment. Wouldn't you agree? Just remember, don't harm Fluttershy. Well, everybody, enough of the silliness. Again, this was just a test to see how well I can do this new animation style. I am attempting to work with it using Windows Movie Maker, since honestly I don't really have anything worthwhile doing. This is admittedly the second take of this. The first one is still going to be uploaded and available before this one, but it was made using a separate webcam system, and hopefully the audio recording on this didn't get jacked up in the process. Sometimes it has a tendency of doing that. But anyway, I am attempting to do this using a series of screen captures as well as Windows Movie Maker. Now this is admittedly a challenge, because again, I am doing all the work. I'm the script writer, the editor, the animator, everything. You know, and doing it all by yourself does mean that it may take longer for me to get some of my videos up in time. But thankfully, we have until spring before Season 7 begins, and maybe with any luck, I'll be able to get some of my reviews of earlier episodes done. I'm not going to guarantee it, but hopefully. Well, anyways, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this new format. If you did, please click the like button. If you didn't, please feel more than welcome to click the dislike button. If you want to see more videos of mine, click my name above the video description to go to my channel. There you can see live action reviews of My Little Pony, some Steven Universe, Dragon Ball Super, and even my live action response to the Season 6 finale of MLP. I've also done reviews on the latest Equestria Girls, The Legend of Everfree, as well as impersonation and singing videos, including John Delancey as Discord, singing Glass of Water, which unfortunately I didn't have the music to go in the back. Or rather I did, but I can hardly believe he kept up with the tempo. But I've also done tributes to the late great Robin Williams, and even an old country song. So if you have any suggestions for other things you'd like me to do on this channel, episodes you want me to review, shows you want me to review, movies, games, whatever, feel free to leave it in the suggestions box. Or stay tuned for the credits, and you can see how you can get in touch with me directly. If you don't feel like waiting until the credits, you can go down to the video description, and those links will still be available there. If you want to see more of what I have to offer, please click the subscribe button. And I look forward to being able to entertain you more in the future. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, don't go changing for any pony but yourselves. Thank you, everyone. Have a pleasant rest of the week, a wonderful weekend, and hopefully a fun, safe All Hallows. And yes, I do still intend on doing a Halloween special, so if you have any recommendations for that before Monday gets here, please let me know in the comments section or in one of the contact methods that'll be visible in the end. Again, thank you very much. Take care, everyone. The images in the preceding program were shot in the Ponytown Roleplay Sim in Second Life. Ponytown Roleplay is a non-profit role-playing experience created by the SecondLife, Brony, and Pegasister community, and to our knowledge has no official affiliation with the My Little Pony brand. Moonshadow Mystery the Changeling, also known as Compound Eyes and Moonlight Shadow, is the original character, and by extension, creative and intellectual property of its creator, Darren self, better known as Moonshadow Mystery the Changeling. If you'd like to contribute to this channel, wish to submit fan art, make more extensive suggestions for critique, or would like to view other creative content associated with this channel or its creator, then you may do so by using the links available in the video description, which are as follows: Skype, Moonshadow Mystery, Darren, self, Gmail, selfdarren1@gmail.com. DeviantArt, http://greatdragonseru.deviantart.com. Facebook, www.facebook.com/darren.self.12. Twitter, @Moonshadow_Mist, spelled MYST. Second Life, @Moonshadow Mystery, otherwise known as darkryu.burner. Patreon is currently unavailable and is pending payment method verification.